Hey guys, Rebel Gray here, and I've been making Star Wars Destiny videos now for I guess about 3 weeks, and I haven't really slowed down to talk about myself too much. And I figured people are just looking for some basic information, but I've gotten a couple messages lately where people are actually trying to talk to me on like a personal level, and I think that's really awesome. So I figured there might be some other people out there who have some questions, and why not just do a quick video to talk a little bit about myself and let you guys know who I am, because I mean I'm asking for like subscriptions and for people to follow me on Facebook and stuff, and it's like, okay, well, why would I do that? Who the heck is this guy? So today, that's what the topic's going to be. Who is this Rebel Gray guy? So, who talks to about Star Wars Destiny to me all the time. So let me tell you a little bit about that. So, if you've been watching the videos, you usually see my intro splash about a minute or so into the videos, where I advertise Impact Gaming Community, and I run that gaming community, and it's an 80-person gaming community called, you guessed it, the Impact Gaming Community. And I've basically been playing video games my entire life. And I put the community together back in 2009, and it just turned 8 years old this past July. And we play a lot of different games there, from tabletop board gaming to D&D, Final Fantasy 14 MMO. We have a Destiny 2 beta team going on right now. We have Arma 3. We have just a whole lot of stuff. There's a Weeboo channel, and we talk about politics and video games and all manner of adult type stuff. It's generally geared towards people in their mid to late 20s, going into their 30s, even early 40s. But as far as the video games that I play, I started playing JRPGs when I was very, very young, with things like Final Fantasy, Dragon Warrior. My tastes have sort of changed, or as I like to look at it, evolved into playing more open world stuff now. And my big games that I like to play are like Fallout, Elder Scrolls, Mass Effect. I'm a big BioWare Bethesda fanboy. I'm sorry if that offends you. I know their games have problems, but I enjoy the storylines and things like that. Mass Effect Andromeda wasn't so great, unfortunately, but and Fallout 4, had its flaws as well, but I love those kinds of games. And as far as CCGs are concerned, I played Magic the Gathering from about, I want to say 93, 94 or so to about 2001. And that's when I went to college, and I sold all my Power 9 stuff to buy like textbooks and just sort of get through college on a basic meal plan and whatever. And then in 2001, when I sold off, I took a long break from CCGs to play MMORPGs, and I did that from 2002 with Final Fantasy 11 to just this year when I quit Final Fantasy 14, and there were a number of other MMOs that I played in that time as well, as probably too many to go over. And I quit that mainly because raiding was really taking a toll on my time and my sanity. I think, and anyone who's played an MMO like WoW or something like that knows, like, it takes a lot of dedication to raid at a high level. And for me, if I can't raid at a high level with my friends and get the best gear, I'm not really that interested in doing it. And even though I want to do that still, even now, it's too time consuming with everything that I have going on. So I think I quit that in about January this year, and then I was just catching up on a video game backlog, and I heard about Destiny in the fall, but I didn't really look too much into it. And then I started playing in April when I picked up some starter packs just before the SOR release. So, I didn't get a lot of experience in the Awakenings meta, but I followed the major events, and anything that I could catch on stream, I tried to catch on stream. I started listening to the podcasts too, from the Chance Cube and Knights of Ren, and everyone else who's around back then. Obviously, there's like so many right now, right? And I live in Rockland County in New York, which is about 25 miles north of New York City, and I work in the Bronx actually. And I played at Hobbytown USA until about, I think they closed end of June. And now my store of choice that I go to right now is Highlander Games in Boonton, New Jersey. Big shout out to Scott. You are an amazing small business owner. You really know how to, take care of your customers, and you know what we want, and you run some excellent events. There's no doubt about it. Highlander has all my money for as long as I'm playing this game. And I go to the big tournaments down there. Since I started going there in July. I The first big tournament that I got to take part in there was in August, and they do a big monthly tournament, usually like the second Sunday, I guess, of the month. And the big monthly in August, I actually won the big monthly in August. I took first place with the best record in the Swiss. Well, not the best record in the Swiss, but I won. I actually went to the Swiss, and I believe it was fourth place, and I was able to make my way to the finals, where I actually ended up splitting with a friend Dan, who was actually the one of the TOs and table judges down at Highlander. We split the $600 prize, $300 a piece. We played a bragging rights game. I won that. It was a really terrible game. But yeah, so I won that tournament. And then the September monthly was actually last week, and it was a 40-point character tournament. And I actually played a modified version of Smurley's Grifters, if anyone knows him from Knights of Ren, with an additional Night Sister. And it's like a mill deck that uses things like loose ends and stuff like that, and Java to just aggressively mill at your opponent in about 3 rounds, 4 rounds. And I took fourth in that tournament, and I won half a box of Empire at War, which I actually picked up today. Then that was in the sealed. Then we had a sealed draft tournament as well today for Empire at War, and I actually got to place fifth. And that was just 3 rounds of Swiss for packs and some fun. Placement wasn't really important, but on the record, I guess I placed fifth for that. Outside of Destiny and video games, personally, I'm married to a beautiful woman who is my entire life, and we have 3 cats, and we're homeowners, which is really crazy, right? I know that's like unheard of, because technically I'm a millennial, but I'm like only like a year and a half in on that whole millennial thing. But that's what you get for living with your mom till you're 30. You can save up lots of money not paying rent and get to buy a house, so that's cool. And my wife is actually a social worker, and I'm a licensed therapist. I have a master's in counseling, and we both love Star Wars really passionately. I don't actually read the books or anything, although I've been considering that, but I just kind of don't know where to start with it because I know that there's so many books. But I'll take suggestions for that in the comments if you guys want to leave some, because I would really love a starting point for that. It's it's so much. I feel like so inundated by the choices that are before me. If you haven't figured it out yet from my videos, I'm a hero player primarily. I dabble in villains, but it's really rare outside of trying like a mill deck or a control deck and trying to make those things work. And with Empire at War, that actually might be something that I try to do. But it's like 3rd or 4th on my deck list. It's really not a priority at all. The closest I ever got to really playing villain in the few months I've been playing was Funkar, and I hated it from day one, because it was just like trying to be that hyper aggro deck, but also trying to be a control deck, and I was like, this doesn't really work. But where Star Wars is concerned, as far as a genre, I will say that I actually really love the prequels a lot. I know people are like, why, man? Come on, but my favorite of the movies is definitely Empire Strikes Back, easily. Return of the Jedi is probably the next one, or Revenge of the Sith actually might even be my second favorite movie, just because of how tragic it is. Qui-Gon is my favorite character, I think, but it's really hard to answer that question, and people do ask that question really randomly for some reason, or people talk about like, who's your favorite Star Wars character? I'm like, I guess it's Qui-Gon, but I also really love Obi-Wan. And despite this, my main love in Destiny, as far as deck building is concerned, isn't actually blue hero, it's red hero. And people are always surprised when I tell them that too, for some reason. But if you've played me at Highlander, or you were playing me at Hobbytown, you've seen my base snap deck with Carbon Freezing Chamber, and you probably hate me a little bit inside. You go home and you're like, I hate that guy. He plays that goddamn snap deck, and it really sucks. but that's where my passion in Destiny really lies, and I think I like Red Hero a lot because it has really crappy removal options for the most part. I mean, Honor Guard is definitely bringing something new to the table, but previously it was just a deck that was really tough. You know, especially if you weren't in a good it's a trap situation. You know, playing a melee deck or something, it's challenging. And I like decks that play differently depending on the matchup. And Red Hero definitely plays differently when It's a Trap is offline for you, when you can't use it for damage anyway, and you're thinking about, oh, I'm going to use this for specials maybe, or resources, or disrupt, or something off the beaten path for It's a Trap. And I like that. I like that kind of challenge. So I guess that's kind of me in a nutshell. You know, I play video games, I play CCGs. I decided to do this content creation thing, and um, married, house, cats, living life, living good life right now, and just trying to get by and win some tournaments and get out there in the internet and get some notoriety for the things I do in Star Wars Destiny. But, you know, I'm not a bragger. I'm not that kind of guy. So, but someone did specifically tell me that, you should probably make a video like this at some point. Otherwise, all the facts and fragments about your life and career and things like that are going to be sort of spread out over many videos. And I thought, actually, that's not such a bad idea. You know, maybe someone gets to really learn about you over time, just like any other relationship. But I get it. You know, this whole internet thing, people are a bit more, they want to be more upfront about, who they're sort of dealing with and talking to. And I can understand that perspective. So here I am, sort of bearing my soul to these strangers on the internet who are watching my YouTube channel. But that's cool with me because my job is basically talking to strangers every day and trying to make their lives better. So when it comes to something like Destiny, I think, oh, well, I'm going to go home and I'm going to talk into this microphone with this webcam and try to make people's lives better for Destiny, make them better players so that maybe they lose a little less, maybe they understand a bit more about the game, and that propels them into, being a better competitive player in some kind of way. So I hope that's what you're getting out of this channel. And if you're watching this video, you're definitely taking a deeper dive into things because this really has nothing to do with Destiny, right? But I'm glad that you came and watched. And for that, I hope to see you in my next couple of videos. Tell your friends, come on over to the channel, especially ones that are just starting to get into Destiny. This is a great time to get into Destiny with the new, expansion and stuff. So have them come by and say, hey, listen, I want you to learn something about, these cards or this kind of strategy stuff. And here's a video. And likewise, other than suggestions for Star Wars books in the comments, definitely leave some suggestions about videos you guys might want to see. And I am working on one right now. I already have all the bullet points and scripts sort of written out, and I'm setting up the OBS to be able to produce it for you. And hopefully that'll be up on here on YouTube maybe sometime tomorrow, late afternoon, early evening. And I won't tell you what it's about. I'll keep you in suspense. But it is a pretty good one, I think. And I hope you enjoy too. So, see you next time. And may the force be with you and all that good stuff.